Welcome back on the Good Morning Artesia radio show. And we are broadcasting from the Eddy County Fairgrounds here in Artesia. The Rabbit Show is going on in the Livestock Barn show ring behind us. And if you want to watch the Rabbit Show, you can go to ksvptv.com. We're also on our YouTube channel, KSVP TV on YouTube. We're on all of our social media channels this morning. And we're at the Eddy County Fair website. So if you go to eddycountyfair.com, on the main page, there's a button you can click, and it'll take you right to the live streaming shows that we have going on. Mayor Pro Tem Terry Hill is with us. We're talking about the City Council meeting last night. We kind of covered the budget aspect of it. What I always find interesting, and it's been this way for years, it's not a new phenomenon, cities like Artesia, who are usually pretty fiscally responsible.
Yeah.
You guys watch your money, watch your budgets, and don't get too extravagant. You don't hear controversies over audits and all this other kind of stuff. But you have to send your budgets to Santa Fe
Yes, to get them blessed.
to get them blessed by the same people that can't manage their budget, that spend more
Absolutely.
money than they have. They go begging to the federal government for stuff. Isn't that kind of funny?
Yeah, that's they hold us to a different standard, it seems at times. But with all the influx of the CARES money and what have you, the state has really received a tremendous amount of money.
Right.
And then you got the rental assistance program helping with that, and the utilities, unemployment.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, but they're the ones in Santa Fe that distribute that money and act as the physical agents for it. I know there's some dispute over some of the money's coming in right now. The governor seems to think that she should be able to allocate those funds. And the legislators are saying, no, just a minute. That isn't under the executive. That's over here. So anyway, we'll see how that works out.
Hopefully they'll get it straightened out. I mean, it'd be nice if they worked together.
Oh, no kidding. No kidding. You know, Gene, whenever we go to council meetings and stuff, there's at times there's points that we have to work and work our way through and stuff like that. And there's some passion, expressed up there on that council, but we never try to do it on a personal basis. I couldn't even tell you what, which councilors are Republicans or Democrats up there. We don't care.
Right.
We're up there to try to do the best we can here in the city and what have you. So we get through a bunch of that stuff, and like I said, there's some heated moments, but when the Mayor Miller drops that gavel, it's over with, and we're shaking hands and easing out the door, and we're
had the vote, and
that's right.
And you move on. You move on to the next thing. Well, that's great, because that's what you hope happens, especially at the local level.
Sure.
People have different opinions. They have different ideas on how maybe things should be done. But once the vote's taken, once the decision's been made, now it's time to move on to the next thing. As long as the goal in mind is what's best for the citizens of the city of Artesia.
You've got to stay focused on that. Staying, financially stable. When the economy went down and what have you, there were a lot of communities in the state that wished that they had the funds that we did, but we only had those because we watched our money. We spent it when we needed to, but by the same token, we were always geared towards the future. And I'm proud of that council for doing that.
Well, that was probably a big chunk of the meeting, was getting through the budget issues there. Was there anything else that you guys...
Yes, sir. We did enjoy some other items.
Enjoyed them, huh?
Oh, yeah. We had David and Vicki Grousnick representing the Smoking on the Pecos. They came before us last night with a request to have that event held down at Heritage Plaza.
Okay.
And we, after several questions and concerns, from the various counselors. Well, yeah, the council granted that request, and they're going to have that starting on Friday, November the 5th, through November the 7th, that Sunday. But it's there at the Heritage Plaza.
Okay.
In that parking lot. Okay, let me see. Then we had an individual come before us last night, and he's quite concerned over Jamaica Park.
That was just recently.
Yes, sir, it was.
Upgrade some.
Oh yeah. The PY Foundation jumped in there, and I'll give a shout for that. And anyway, they renovated that, they reworked that park. It's really nice. However, some of the young people over in that area have decided that they're going to tear some of that stuff up and stuff like that. So anyway, this gentleman came before us last night, and I'm certainly glad that he brought it to our attention. Chief Roberts was there at the meeting last night, and he's getting involved in that and what have you. But it's we spend money, to try to enhance the quality of life here in the town. And when we put out money, I mean, we're not talking $1,000 here and $1,000 there. I'm talking a lot of money.
It was a substantial investment.
Yes, there was. Yes, there was. And so anyway, to see people, young kids, come in and try to destroy that, it's really disheartening. But anyway, Chief Roberts is going to start working on that issue for that gentleman. And anyway, let me see. Then
page 2.
Page 2.
Paul Harvey?
Yeah. And that's the rest of the story. Anyway, we had a group of gentlemen come last night and requesting that the city change ordinances to allow side-by-sides and the ATV stuff and stuff like that to be driven on the streets.
So right now you can't?
No, sir.
Okay.
It is illegal in the city of Artesia.
Even if they have the lights and the tail lights?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I did not know that.
Yes, sir. Well, there's a lot of people who didn't.
They find out when they get the ticket, right?
Yeah, when they get a visit, yes. But anyway, it was pointed out that Roswell, Carlsbad, maybe even Hobbs, I'm not sure, I don't recall. But anyway, they do in fact allow these vehicles on the streets. We directed them back to Chief Roberts and Councilor Mullen to visit with them, bring their concerns. If the committee chaired by Councilor Mullen and the chief could see a need or something to change that ordinance, then they could bring it back to us and we would certainly entertain it.
Well, it's okay for people to express that. I mean, you see them all over the place here.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. And some of them are pretty nice,
with
air conditioning and all that kind of stuff.
Yes, sir.
But usually when I see them, it's a kid going about 80 miles an hour,
yes, sir.
Flat out, just as fast as they can go. And I know they put all kinds of safety features. This is not anything to be critical of the devices themselves, but that'll be interesting to see what the consensus is or what.
Well, it's very quickly. The suspensions on those things are designed for off-road.
Right.
There's some give and take and what have you in there. But when you put it on hard stand, asphalt, gravel, stuff like that, at high rates, it won't stand up. The possibility of an accident and flipping that thing is tenfold. Then whenever you have it, should you have an accident, dart out in front of a car or a driver in a one of these big pickups or something, he's not expecting that to be out there, come shooting out of an alley or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I would hope that we would have a good debate over it if it gets back to us. So,
because if they're going to be on the city streets, they have to operate at the
yes, sir.
within the range of the speed limit. So
yes, sir.
30
Absolutely.
or 25 or 35, like you say.
Yeah.
Big tires, high suspension.
Oh,
they're great for bouncing around the fairgrounds or
yeah.
going out in the countryside and
yeah.
bouncing around out there. But yeah, that'll be interesting to see. I usually when I see them, people are having fun with them.
I know.
They're having a lot of fun.
I would love to own one.
Yeah, but I
thought about it.
I don't know. That'll be interesting to see what comes back to the city on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So,
well, Gene, that's basically covered us last night. We approved some hiring for the police, the water, the commission on aging, the water technician, and detention officer of the police department. We approved those, accepted some resignations, but other than that, one other deal.
okay.
There was a request made from the Artesia High School for permission to hold the annual homecoming parade on Friday, September the 24th at 3:30 to 5 o'clock. Okay?
I'm sure that got approved.
Yeah, and yes, sir. And then there was a change to the date for the Art in the Park. It's now going to be on October the 15th and 16th.
Okay.
So, anyway.
They're still proposing to have that out at J.C. Park, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And there was some conflicts and stuff like that with other events and things, so.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, that'll be interesting because for the longest time, most of the time when that event is held, it's been held at Central Park downtown.
Yes.
And
for many years.
Many years. There was one time it was held out at Roberts Park.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of years out there. Then it came back to Central Park. Then there was one year it was held at the Morris Field.
Yes. Yes, it was.
And then it came back to Central Park. So we'll see if the J.C. Park thing works out or if it comes back to Central Park.
There you go.
You never know. And all. Hey, let me ask you one other question.
Yes, sir.
The John Ross was talking about the schools and what the public education department has come down on the masks in order to have the kids in school.
Yeah.
And everybody's excited about kids in school, and they're just having to work through the mask thing. Has the state, through the health department or any other agencies, contacted the cities, the municipalities, or the counties, and said anything to them or
no, as far as I know, there has not been any changes to the latest deal where, anyway, they're not that we're aware of.
Okay.
We're not mandating mask now. If you choose to wear a mask, that's wonderful. If you don't, that's wonderful.
Right.
It's just, but
it's kind of the same thing with the vaccines too.
Oh,
there's not
yes.
a mandate in the city with their
No.
employees to on the vaccine. So
no, not.
If you want to get the vaccine, you get the vaccine. If you don't,
Yeah.
that's it. Well, I know there's been a lot of new cases in Eddy County, primarily down in Carlsbad over the last
Yes, sir.
week or so. So we'll keep an eye on it and see. And hopefully,
I know.
Hopefully this is just the bubble,
Yeah.
and then it'll settle back down here in a couple of weeks. So.
Well, with the oil industry picking back up a little bit, we've got people, transient labor and stuff like that. I hope that's good enough word. But anyway, people coming out of Texas, welders, construction guys, stuff like that. And so there might be a reason why we're getting an uptick, but I'm not blaming that on Texas, but by any choice.
No, we don't want to do that. Well, Terry, anything else you want to mention, or we kind of cover everything?
I think we've just about covered everything this morning, Gene, and I certainly appreciate you having us on this morning, and hopefully the mayor will, his agenda will get him back in here shortly, and he can.
Well, we won't be here
Get
next
after it.
week, or 2 weeks or whatever. We'll be
Yeah.
back at the studio. So.
Yeah.
But it's always fun to come out here from the fair and do this at the fair. We've been doing the morning show out here 25, 30 years.
Yeah.
And every year we try to improve it or make it a little bit better or figure out our system. Sometimes we get it right. Sometimes, it's like, let's not do that again.
Yeah.
But
Well, it's
it seems
nice.
to be working out, and a lot of folks coming out to the fairgrounds. There was a good crowd here for the Dairy Heifer Show last
Yeah.
night, and swine shows tonight, and that always brings
Oh,
a crowd.
yeah. Yeah, my grandkids showed swine over out of Post, Texas, and they travel everywhere with those things, and they enjoyed it, won a lot of prizes. They was happy.
Yep.
It was good.
It's a good deal. So that's
Yeah.
tonight. The rabbit show's right now, and then the swine show's tonight at 6 o'clock here at the Livestock Barn Show Ring. Mayor,
All right.
Mayor Pro Tem,
Thank you.
thank you so much for coming out.
Thanks for having us, Gene.
All right, let's do this. Let's take the break, and we'll come back to wrap up the hour right after we do this.